Kila siku memba wetu zaidi ya milioni 15 wanaiboresha Afrika. Memba milioni 15 wanawezeshwa kuwa kujifunza, kubuni, kukua, kuvuna, kuongoza, kuota ndoto. Equity. Karibu memba. Kila siku memba wetu zaidi ya milioni 15 wanaiboresha Afrika. Memba milioni 15 wanawezeshwa kuwa kujifunza, kubuni, kukua, kuvuna, kuongoza, kuota ndoto. Equity. Karibu memba.
Ni mawio ya siku mpya hapa Mbeya, Tanzania, nchi yenye fursa adhimu ya kufanya ugavi wa chakula kwenye ukanda huu, hususan mchele, zao lenye ubora wa aina yake kulinganisha na kwingineko kokote. Mchele kama zao la chakula na biashara ni nafaka nambari 2 kwa wigo wa kibiashara nchini Tanzania baada ya mahindi. Zao hili hulimwa kwenye maeneo mengi nchini, lakini zaidi katika ukanda wa kusini magharibi ambapo wakulima huzalisha kwa kutumia umwagiliaji na kutegemea mvua. Eneo la kilimo cha mpunga Mbeya huzalisha sehemu kubwa ya zao hilo kwa nchi nzima. Mchele mwingi unaozalishwa hapa ni wenye ubora wa hali ya juu, ikiwemo aina ya Saro. Aina nyingine ya Mwenda Mbiu hulimwa pia. Ni mchele wenye harufu nzuri sana na unaozalishwa japo si kwa kiwango kikubwa.
Tuna mpango wa kutafuta masoko nje kwa sababu mashine ya kumenyea tunayo. Godown la kuhifadhia tunalo. Kwa hiyo issue hapo ni kutafuta, tuna mpango wa kutafuta masoko nje ili tuweze kuuza mchele badala ya mpunga. Tukipata soko Kenya, tukipata soko Uganda, tukipata soko Malawi, madam liwe soko tu lenye tija.
Naishukuru serikali kwa sababu kwanza imetujengea miundombinu. Tuna mifereji sisi hapa. Kwa maana hiyo tunaweza kulima wakati wote. Naweza kulima wakati wa kiangazi, naweza kulima pia wakati wa masika. Na hili bonde letu linakubali muda wote kufanya kilimo hiki cha mahindi.
Matarajio ya kuuza mchele kwa nchi wanachama wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, ambayo sasa inajumuisha Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo, ni makubwa. Kenya pekee ni soko kubwa la mchele huo. Nchi hiyo huhitaji kiasi cha tani milioni 1 za ujazo kwa mwaka. Mahitaji hayo ni makubwa zaidi ya uzalishaji wa ukulima unaofikia tani za ujazo 180,000 pekee. Nakisi inayosalia huzibwa na uagizaji wa mchele kutoka mataifa mengine kama Thailand, Pakistan, India na Myanmar. Hata hivyo, mnamo mwaka 2020 kiasi cha tani za ujazo 37,000 zilisafirishwa kutoka nchi jirani ya Tanzania. Ripoti ya mapitio ya sekta ndogo ya mchele yaliyofanywa na benki ya Equity inabainisha kwamba ufadhili wa kifedha kwenye mnyororo mzima wa thamani wa mpunga si tu kwamba utaongeza uzalishaji, lakini pia utaongeza kipato cha wadau na hatimaye kubadilisha kabisa maisha na riziki zao. Mafunzo ya wakulima katika kijiji cha Mabadaga, ubia wa Equity na wanachama wa skimu ya mpunga ya Patagwa unaonesha kwamba kuna hitaji kubwa la wakulima wa mpunga wenye ekari 1 hadi ekari 10 kuungwa mkono. Wakati uungwaji mkono wa kifedha ukiwa jambo la lazima, mafunzo ya ujasiriamali nayo ni muhimu kuhakikisha wakulima wanafanya kilimo kwa tija kama biashara.
So I wish you all the best to stay attentive rather, and also later on for the activities that will be coming. Without wasting much of the time, I would love to welcome Madam Irene for our corporate prayer, and after that we are going to commence our program. Tumpigie makofi Madam Irene as she's working hapa mbele.
Na wasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. For the prayer, kindly. I'm going to say a corporate prayer. So we thank God for the gift of life, good health, well-being, and the families we represent here. We ask God to protect us throughout this mission, and we pray for prosperity of our businesses and our countries. We pray for great cooperation between our countries, that is USA, Tanzania mainland, Zanzibar, and Kenya. May our interactions be fruitful and enable us meet our intended objectives. And for our Hindu brothers and sisters, we wish them Happy Diwali. A festival of light. And we can say, Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Irene, for corporate prayer. And I think we can clap for her. Please. It is not a simple task to talk to God, especially on the very important element of opening the remarks of the event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I welcome the first speaker, I would love to bring to your attention that we have our hashtags for social media. Just in case you want to tweet something, you have taken a picture, and you want to let the world know you have got any specific key point that you want to address to the world, or you want to take a message to the world, please use these hashtags. They're very important to bring uniformity. So the first hashtag is US Trade Mission TZKE. US Trade Mission TZ, or TZKE for Kenya, and TZ for Tanzania. The second hashtag that you can use is Equity Trade Missions. Equity Trade Missions. So please feel free to use those hashtags. They're very important to ensure that the message gets across in the globe. But also we are live on YouTube and other social media platforms as well. My name is Anto Luvanda. I'm going to be the moderator, and I'm hereby welcoming our first speaker, who is the head of operation Equity Bank Tanzania Limited, Mr. Rajos Mdoe, for opening remarks and talk more about Equity Group and EBTL. Mr. Mdoe, karibu sana. Makofi kwake tafadhali.
Just a point of correction. My name's, and sorry, there was a small confusion there. My name's Rafael Onyango. I'm the Group Director for Corporate Banking. Distinguished government officials, distinguished leaders of businesses, distinguished business owners and investors in Tanzania, all media houses, staff of Equity Bank Tanzania and Equity Group, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. As I had indicated, my name is Rafael Onyango. I'm the Group Director for Corporate Banking. First and foremost, let me express my gratitude to the Almighty for enabling us to gather here today. And for this forum, the US-Tanzania Trade Mission. Dearest invited business leaders and invited guests, we are honored to host you in today's forum, and on behalf of myself and the staff of Equity Group and Equity Tanzania, I cordially invite you all to this forum. Equity, as a Pan-African bank, has purpose to champion the sustainable building of African continent through implementing the Africa Recovery and Resilience Plan, which is a social and economic transformation plan that aims to capacitate, connect, and coordinate and finance African economies in order to transform Africa's wealth and lives and livelihoods of our people. Dearest invited business leaders and invited guests, the plan also aims to collaborate with development partners and international business organizations to complement the government's efforts in driving the socio-economic agenda that will enable our individual countries to enhance their self-sufficiency and result in the continent becoming a primary contributor to the global economy. Equity Bank has brought the US business delegates to meet with the Tanzania business community. and investors with the purpose of facilitating business connections, discussions, collaborations, and investment in our country, aiming to secure new heights of economic expansion driven by strong international trading growth, supported by a robust business ecosystem in Tanzania. In this endeavor, Equity Group brings its large balance sheet to boost growth of international trade and supporting entrepreneurs and businesses that operate within the 6 primary sectors of the economy, namely agriculture, extractive sectors, manufacturing, logistics and trade and investment, the MSME sector, social and environmental transformation, and the promotion of a technology-enabled economy and empowerment of women and youth. All this is done with the respect for our environment. It is our sincere expectation that this forum between US and Tanzania will open more business opportunities and collaborations with Tanzania, and the US delegates will appreciate the enormous opportunity the country is endowed with and strong investment climate of Tanzania, and that our dear government has established. With those few remarks, I would like to again recognize you, your presence, with due respect, and declare this forum officially opened. As you may all remember, High Excellency, the President was in the United States in June promoting tourism, and she also met, together with the government delegation, met with a number of US investors. This forum is a follow-up to that visit to complement the efforts that the government is already making, and we are looking forward to having fruitful deliberations during this forum and to continue with the connections and the purpose of creating and fostering trade. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raphael Onyango, who is the Group Director of Corporate Affairs at Equity Group Holdings. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you allow me to welcome once again Mr. Mdoe, who is the Head of Operation at Equity Bank Tanzania, for some more remarks. Mr. Mdoe, please welcome on the stage for your remarks. Tumpigie makofi wakati anakuja hapa mbele tafadhali.
Thank you, the MC. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Naomba niwasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy that we could all, the majority could hear Swahili. Yeah, as it has been mentioned by the previous speaker, I will just give a brief on why Equity and why this forum. Equity Bank, as a financial institution and as the largest bank in terms of balance sheet size in East Africa, we have a plan that has just been mentioned by Mr. Onyango, who was just speaking a few moments ago. Given the size and the purpose of Equity, which is transforming life, giving dignity, and expanding opportunities for wealth creation, we saw it is very important to interlink key stakeholders in terms of development. And I think Mr. Onyango has explained the African Resilience and Recovery Plan, which is basically trying to see on how, as key stakeholder in development, especially in Africa, we are coordinating and aligning stakeholders in terms of bringing development, but given the current global challenges, we are in the process of recovering from crisis. We had COVID, we now have war in Russia and Ukraine, and we have that environment that is so uncertain, and we need to prepare ourselves. And that's why we say while we are recovering, we also need to be resilient. And in the process of transforming lives and giving opportunities for wealth creation, we are looking at, as a financial intermediary, to see how we can coordinate various stakeholders and mobilize resources and utilize the available natural resources in Africa and create sustainable development in Africa. And I think it has been mentioned on the key pillars that we've been looking at, given the opportunities that we have in Africa and in the East African region as well. Our capabilities as Equity Bank in terms of resources and how that can support in collaboration with a number of other partners who are ready for that. We saw it's important to have this forum and creating that network that will assist us in terms of sharing information, possibly sharing resources and enabling that environment that will transform lives, giving dignity and also expanding opportunities for wealth creation. And as a bank, I think we are among the pioneers in financial inclusion. We have quite engaged a larger number of the population who were initially not considered as bankable, but we did that in trying to achieve the same purpose of expanding opportunities for wealth creation. And in that process, we still continue with these initiatives to ensure that we connect these stakeholders from the micro individuals, micro farmers, micro traders, to manufacturers, to exporters, importers, in all other facilities that will enable socio-economic development of the country. And so it is aligning to that purpose that we have requested you as stakeholders to come together and share experiences, plans, and we know information is key for any organization, individuals making step forward. And that's why it's important that we come and share the information. We share our responsibilities in various areas in achieving this sustainable development in Africa. But the main thing is the wealth that we have in Africa, and here in particular East African region, and Tanzania as the hub in terms of infrastructure, given the surroundings. There are variable natural resources, but again, the neighboring countries, their level of resource availabilities, our level of resource availabilities, and how can we coordinate to have our own market that is self-sustainable. But also we have seen how disruption in the global supply chain can expose us in terms of concentration into particular regions, where once you face a challenge in those regions, you have a crisis across the globe. And we see this is amongst the initiative that can also diversify risks in terms of global supply chain, because we have capabilities that will be spread across the world. And Africa, and East Africa in particular, we are rich in quite a number of resources, as I believe my colleague had mentioned in his briefing initially. So mine was just to give that highlight. And today as Equity Bank, we'll be sharing our experience, our plans, but also we'll be here to enable you as stakeholders share these experiences, share the opportunities, and see how we can collaborate to achieve the objective as I've mentioned earlier. So I would really like to appreciate for your time coming here. Just to finish by starting, I would like to appreciate Basil Ojuo, CEO, Minnesota African United, and also Mr. Zach Mbena, Director of Policy and Advocacy, TPSF, and all delegates for your time. And I wish we share the moment to the fullest, and so that when we take the next step, we are well aligned, and also we are ready to support each other to achieve this objective. So thank you so much, and have a nice time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mdoe, the head of operation, Equity Bank Tanzania Limited. And as it has always been said, wherever there's a problem and a challenge, opportunities also are available on the same accord. So allow me to welcome the very specific area that we need to focus on, because we're going to work with the corporate, with the private sector a lot. And the one who has the database and relationship with the private sector is not the other but Tanzania Private Sector Foundation. So on the stage, allow me to welcome the Director of Policy, Advocacy and Membership, Mr. Zaki Mbena, to deliver his remarks as well. Tumpigie makofi anapokuja mbele.
The leadership, the regional leadership of Equity Bank, that which include Mr. Rafael Onyango, who is the director, the group director, but also Isabella Maganga, who is the managing director, dignitaries, leaders of the business, the head of the delegation from United States of America with us today. We wish to recognize the presence of business entrepreneurs in the country of Tanzania and the business community. As introduced, my name is Zaki Mbena. I'm representing the Tanzania Private Sector Foundation, which is the umbrella apex body of private sector in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good morning. On behalf of the business community, but also private sector of this country, Tanzania, we first and foremost wish to warmly welcome our visiting partners from private sector in the United States of America. We wish to welcome also our indigenous private sector community to this event. And in a special way, we extend cordial welcome to the visiting partners, private sector from the United States of America, to the country of Tanzania, which is the land of Kilimanjaro, Mount Kilimanjaro, the land of Zanzibar, Spice Island, but the land of Serengeti, Ngorongoro, and the beautiful people of Tanzania. Welcome to Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a business and working forum. Therefore, we will go straight into the subject of the matter. As we are aware, the global economy has suffered enormously from the just ending COVID-19, but also we are aware of the impact, negative impact that we've got from the ongoing wars in the land of Ukraine, but as well as other economic hardships which have led to potential economic recession in our two economies, referring to Kenya and Tanzania, but also globally. And especially if we consider the SMEs and upcoming enterprises. So the impact on this special business category have been quite significant. But a good news is that there have been strong signals of recovery and resilience. And for that reason, this very session, this very engagement comes very handy in resolving and looking into how Africa can develop resilience, but also recovery. It is high time we expedite the recuperation of the economy to the extent that the business ecosystem is retained, or if not, exceed the existing potential. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our heartfelt appreciation that goes to Equity Bank. I can assure you, much as we all understand the times that we're going through, the seasons that we're going through, but Equity Bank, in a very special manner, in a very special way, have come out for the first time with an open economic plan for resilience and recovery. Most banks or financial institutions, at such moments, the traditional way is actually to have under the carpet strategies of sustaining their own businesses and not even sharing what opportunities are. But that has not been the case with Equity. You have developed an open plan that is more inclusive and intends to welcome just more partners and have a formidable, well-coordinated effort of Africa and the region of East Africa to navigate from the hurdles that are hampering our progress and bring everybody else to the opportunities. So this is a remarkable strategy that isn't applied to many. So it is our urge that the rest of other operators consider having such strategies that not only focus on their enterprise growth, but rather at the regional progress that is possible. So we commend Equity Bank for that reason. But also, we understand that creating sustainable investment at this point of time may be a hard thing to think of. So in the same way, we highly appreciate the initiative from the US delegation to make out their way, set out time and resources to come to Tanzania, to come to Africa with the aim of finding trading and investment opportunities. It is a trend that globally people would want to reserve their resources, probably analyze the opportunities at such times, and maybe reduce the amount of investment that will be opening up. But that hasn't been the case with our brothers and sisters from the United States of America. So for that reason, Basil and you team, we wish to highly appreciate that initiative. And we, from private sector, wish to recommend that you partner and work closely with the indigenous business community and even open eyes further for opportunities, because Tanzania and Kenya will not just provide for you the 63 million or 90 million market opportunity that you're going to tap. Tanzania is actually the gateway to the rest of the Southern Africa Development Community, which is about 345 million people. But it's about 300 million within East Africa itself. But with the recent development of the African Free Continental Trade Area Agreement, you have actually access to 1.2 billion population before you, with accumulative GDP of $2.4 billion. So what an opportunity before you that you will access simply by partnering and working with Tanzania, and for that case also Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, the other thing that is important to take note of is that Tanzania has of late been rated among the most preferred destinations for FDI. A report by United Nations World Trade Organization has rated Tanzania 9th position. by having the most conducive environment for people to direct their FDIs. But the recent report from the South African Financial Times Index has shown Tanzania among the top 10 most preferred destinations of investment in Africa. And that ranked us number 7. What does it mean? It's not by coincidence that all this attention is coming to Tanzania for that case. It is the effort, the result of the efforts that the government, in relationship with private sector, are creating or paving way for the conducive, enabling, and economic-friendly business environment for investment. And for that, we wish to commend the government of Tanzania and the initiative that we're doing together. Even currently, we are working on the new Investment Act, which will be ratified in the coming Parliament session. This is not just one. There have been several initiatives that want to create a conducive environment for all of us to benefit. And among the strategic sectors, those are the pillars of the economy of Tanzania, which also will definitely be opportunities for you. If you mention agriculture, speaking of mining, manufacturing, going to the sectors like tourism, social services, financial banking services, but how about logistics? So Tanzania is setting itself as a food basket of the region, and at the same time as a logistic hub to the rest of the East African area. So all these avail to you more than just opportunities to work in Tanzania. We will encourage, therefore, a few things from private sector perspective as we plan to recover from the 2.5 difficult years due to COVID-19 and from the wars in the Ukraine, that we need to take the investment and trade activities to the new heights. And for that reason, Equity Bank has shown us the way of being collaborative, but smartly and intelligently looking at opportunities, aligning it with our resources, and bringing the most important asset of all, the people. I have always trusted the services that Equity Bank has provided, and if you're not aware, I bank with Equity Bank, and my first experience, actually I was able to open up an account, my personal account with Equity Bank, within 15 minutes, and that was a record I've never had anywhere else. And ever since, Equity Bank has been my bank of choice, and I wouldn't hesitate to welcome anyone to trade and bank with Equity Bank, because you are setting the trends. As I come to the conclusion of my remarks, we, however, would wish to see our business communities, but also our people, but also our strategies, focus on a few areas that will open even more doors and provide us more opportunities. So we have a few recommendations that for all of us to take, not just Equity, but all of us in the business industry. First is, despite the challenges that we are going to face, or we are already into them, we need to ensure that our business and initiatives to invest continue. We can adjust our strategies, but closing doors may not be a solution when such times face us. So it's important that we smartly and creatively make sure that we sustain our business, and we continue to do that for a sustainable private sector development. If we close shops, how will lives go? What about the well-being of our people? So that's one thing that we're recommending. But also, it is high time that our policies start to promote the enabling environment for entrepreneurship, including the small and medium enterprises. The moment we get the SMEs into the ecosystem of businesses, it's easier to cushion such challenges. Because during COVID-19, when it was at its peak, actually the most flexible firms were not the large firms. The SMEs were easier to flexibly adjust the operations. If they were trading in cereals and the moments are not that friendly, they'll move to clothing, they'll move to necessities. It is easier for such a firm that was selling high-value product in one day, next day you find them selling what? Items related to COVID. They are the very ones who quickly moved businesses to other end. In other words, diversifying. But the third one is, of course, to continue to invest in our people. For this investment that we're thinking today to be meaningful, it's high time that our people are skilled and competent enough to deliver and support the initiatives. Much as we attract FDIs, we attract investment and capital, you need equally to have a matching capacity of the people that will be able to transact and convert the investments into realizable, profitable outcomes. So it's important that we invest in our people at our own capacity, but also at our own levels. But also we need to promote indigenous and foreign partnerships. This is very important because the indigenous business community will bring for you the knowledge, the geographical understanding, but also the customs of the immediate markets. So not to underestimate the ability that they have as a country. And we need also to now start shifting our focus from the obvious or traditional ways of doing business, but rather having market-oriented and need-based products. And for that, Equity, again, has shown a very good example by having customized products, banking products, which address the actual needs on the ground. So that's, again, our recommendations from us. But also, we should also pursue the public-private business model. And this is now very eminent at this time, where the government has agreed or has appreciated the role that private sector can do to the economy. And for us as private sector to remain as the engine of the economy, we really need to work closely with the government. So together with, as a counterpart from the region, from Tanzania, from Kenya, and other African countries, we need to work together to revitalize our economic activities in the area, but also be able to work with such financial institutions that are approaching matters smartly. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania is endowed with rich resources. I know much will be spoken about it, but we urge the visiting team, the visiting delegation, to please take time to explore not exclusive business, but welcome leisure. Make time, make arrangements where you can possibly explore the very natural, rich facilities we have in Tanzania. If you cannot climb Mount Kilimanjaro, at least visit the nearby attraction sites we have. The Sadani, Selu, you can have day trip to Mikumi, but you can have also Dar es Salaam nightlife for you, because this also contributes to the business and economic investment. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I once again wish to thank the organizers at Equity Bank for this reason. You've done a remarkable job. I don't know if it is only to me, but I can assure you, the majority of you must have experienced the first-class, state-of-art treatment within this event. From the way you walk in, all the way you're being taken to the seat, this is how Equity can give the best of service to you. And this goes beyond the treat of the event, but also at the level of their business area where they are the best. But also we wish to appreciate highly and thank the US delegation that have joined us. Indeed, it is a great honor for us to come and interact with private sector of Tanzania. You could have other many alternatives, but you said, no, let's work in Kenya, let's work in Tanzania. So we appreciate that decision to actually partner with us. But we also thank all members of the business community who have turned up. I know it's a Monday. There could be many other activities you wish to do, but you said, no, let me set time and join this important occasion. And it is going to be fruitful, and I like the fact that we are all gathering together, joining efforts to make sure that we are making Africa more resilient and recovering as fast as possible. We wish you and look forward to a very fruitful engagement and unforgettable experience in the country of Tanzania. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mbena. And we are sharing a lot of sentiments that you have just shared with us. And I can assure you, I think we are going to have more beautiful time and beautiful moments later on. We are going to have site visits as well. I'll be mentioning where we are going to visit. But also for those who have an opportunity to go to Zanzibar, they'll be able to mix business and pleasure a little bit. So thank you so much. And I think with the regards that you've just given on equity, it will be on their mind as an Equity Bank in general to consider you being in a board membership. I think anastahili kuwa kwenye board yetu, si ndio? Maana anaupiga mwingi sana. Tunakushukuru sana mheshimiwa. Hiyo nimechomekea tu. Kwa hiyo uteuzi ukifika naweza nikawa ni moja ya manabii. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome now Mr. Basil Ajuo, who is a Chief Executive Officer of Minnesota Africans United, also to share his remarks and to do a little bit of introduction. Mr. Ajuo, please welcome. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Basil Ajuo. I'm originally born and raised in the Central African nation of the Cameroon, and I'm so proud to be here in your midst today. Before I begin, I will not be happy to say welcome to everyone, but let me thank my distinguished and great team that has come over from the United States of America, particularly the great state of Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes. Why don't you give an applause to my group there on the table? And that notwithstanding, also giving thanks to this fantastic high table. You see Joy over there, you see Priya, you see all these distinguished members of the bank, the other Joy, that's how I call her, Irene, Furaha. Thank you all for getting to put all this together. You bring smiles to Americans, you bring smiles to your brothers and sisters right here in the continent and also there in the state of Minnesota. No business is too small to be bankable. No business is small to be bankable. And I just thought that before I really get into my remarks, I wanted to just take a brief moment to share a story. Today is 23rd of October. And exactly on the 14th of July, we were in the Central African of Cameroon. That is my home country. We met a little woman. I call her little, not because of her size or her age, but because of this little product that she had. She was working every day and putting her small money under her mattress. She could not take this money to a bank because she felt that her money was too small to be bankable. And she kept sending me WhatsApp messages. I need an investment. I need an investment. I don't want to invest in small products. 50 chickens, 100 chickens. Now my money is going to go to water. No, your money is not going to go to water. This is something small that I put under my mattress. Please just add into it and make this number grow from 50 to 100. I'm like, okay, let me make a donation of 100. I don't care, just take that money. Oh, I got this money. It's not over 100. Your $100 help me. It went to 200 chickens. Please help me, I need an investment. And she kept me walking up and down. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go get out of this. Let me look for a U.S. investor for you. And I looked for someone in the United States, right in the state of Minnesota. And he called her on the phone and said, I want to do 100,000 chickens for you. Can I do that? No. You're going to kill me. There's no one in my country that can be able to do that kind of business. I just need 1,000. That's all I need. And the U.S. investor says, no, I cannot waste time on 1,000 chicken. If you can do 10,000 chicken. She was like, oh, America is too big for me. It's too complicated. Brazil, how do you do? Please help me. I need just 200 chickens. This number like that is more than my brain. So we decided that no, we will take it step by step. We will take it brick by brick, block by block, hand by hand, friend to friend, investor to investor, bank to bank, and all the kind of things. And we now, within 3 months of time, she has 5,000 chickens raised with the support of U.S. investor in her home country. And the plan is, and she has actually opened an account with the local banking. That is the purpose of why we are here with the Equibank, to really help small businesses, which is historically the backbone of the U.S. economy. And we believe that is the backbone of our East African community, especially our own great nation of Tanzania. So, and not only talking about this little project that we have started in Cameroon through Trade Mission, we also had a member of our group who went there with a little product. He saw that electricity, there's no way you can charge your phone, there's no way you can do banking, there's no way that you can do agricultural business, there's no way a child can study, there's no way you can have access to healthcare, there's no way you can have lights in the room, there's no way you can have air conditioner, fridge in your house. He was just moving around with a little product of solar energy. Right there within Cameroon and Ghana, they have now been able to install some of this facility in the country. And many Cameroonians and Ghanaians, more than within 3 months of time, July and October, have flown to Minnesota. They have spent their money to Minnesota. Minnesota has spent their money in those countries. That has become the force and the power of trade to really build economic opportunity and advance the entrepreneurship, creating innovation and creating revenues, driving jobs for all of us, and really making up a stronger community together. That is what we have really come to see within Equity Group of Africa. And this event today is a follow-up of an event that we just had on the 7th of September. And we are here to really talk business. Business is business. It's right here. It's really about an effort. It's really about where you put your heart and your soul. It's really about, do I really want to create an opportunity for someone here on earth? And that's one of the reasons why the US government and the Kenya and the Tanzanian government have been working together, and the Equity Bank, to see how we can advance economic opportunity between the two countries. But I will not end my speech without reporting your government. I'm very good at reporting government when we try to see whether they're nice or they are not nice. We have been working with a very great Tanzanian there in Minnesota who came to study as a fellowship student at the University of Minnesota. We just reached out to her. Her name is Christina. We reached out to her and said, will you open the door with your Minister of Foreign Affairs for us? We saw you sitting behind your president when your president came to visit the president of the United States of America. We just need her to tap her by the back. Tap her by the back. Just tell her 1 second, Your Excellency, I'm working with a group there in Minnesota. Can you help open doors for this group to be able to come to the country? She was like, no, I'm afraid. But the protocol will not let me. I said, please tap her on her back. She won't kill you. She didn't tap her on her back, but she tapped the Minister of External Relations, who was just sitting by the side of the president, and she whispered on her ear. 1 week later, we had a webinar with the Minister of External Relations, with the Minister of Trade and Investment Opportunity. That is the power of courage. Do not be afraid. And following that conversations, we went to the U.S. Embassy in Tanzania, right, with my friend over there. We sat with them, follow up with letters, and there is no email you send to them. It takes 5 minutes at the table. I'm not from Tanzania. It doesn't take 5 minutes to respond. It's just to show that your government is actually very, very sincere from their hearts, from their soul, to really increase investment in this country. So you really have the support. Do not be afraid, do not be scared, do not be afraid to send WhatsApp messages, send emails, visit your bankers, talk to Equity Group, talk to whosoever in your community that you think that an opportunity can actually happen with you. All in all, thank you so much. You are all love. If you let me to keep standing here and talking, I can talk here, like my life depends on talking. But with no waste of time, it's really my time now to go to my seat, and thank you so much for your attention. May God bless you.
Please don't step down, please. Just if you can do a favor for introducing the Minnesota delegation.
I want to make sure that all the members of the delegation are actually sitting on one table. My body still sit right there in Minnesota. I would really like to start by talking about Jennifer Korea. I got to know Jennifer. Jennifer is a part of... Jennifer, why don't you stand up and give them a wave? Let them see the magnificency that is really in you. Thank you so much for welcoming Jennifer. Just come over here. Thank you so much. Come over here. Don't be afraid you won't give a speech, okay? Maybe you give a speech at some other point. I will let Jennifer is part of Minnesota Africans United. When we started Minnesota Africans United, I just was really not able to tell you what was the meaning of Minnesota Africans United. We thought that when we bring to order all the 400,000 African diaspora immigrants that are in Minnesota, that is already a market for your product over here for any investment. And when those people came together, we started to dissect them sector by sector. And Jennifer was people that say, I want to work on infrastructural development. I want to work on building. I like homes. I like building houses. People that cannot afford to pay big mortgages and live big range amount of money. I want to build a house where you can able to stay there and just be paying a little by little and making ends meet. She's really working with our county government to build those kind of housing, and that is what she's good at. She has come here to see the opportunities in building, in infrastructure development, and that is good. If you want to talk to Jennifer, talk to her when it comes to construction. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And why don't I continue with Bill? You know, Bill is Dr. Bill. He is the president of a public utility company. I just wish I don't have to fail with anything on my head. My book is not a library. Bill and I, we got to meet through our common friend who is the former president of Global Minnesota. We think we made an event such as this together, and power of networking, we shook hands. We started to talk about the things that we all do that are common together. And I started to talk to Bill at that particular time, and I said, I really wanted to see whether you and I chemistry can go together. I want to see where you're likable. Where you're likable, I want to tell you the truth.
I think it's been good. I move slower in an engineering fashion. You move faster in a networking fashion. And together, I move slower and precisely as an engineer and business person. Basile moves faster in a networking fashion, and together it makes pretty good chemistry.
Thank you so much. The chemistry really work. So Bill is really involved. He's that kind of person that really thinks about energy as far as in way that provides humanitarian support to the community, and also in a way that provides economy. So I think his goal right here is really to meet people that are really interested in energy. There's no thing that you can do without energy. The first thing that's going to stop working, that you guys are going to stop hearing what I'm talking about, because this microphone is going to go off. And energy, this is technically our energy person. And thank you so much, Bill. I know you have some time to talk.
And if I may, I want to say one more thing, and I'm kind of enjoying having a microphone now, but seriously, I came in here last night tired from a flight. I saw Joy that I know, and I said, you know, I want to talk energy a little bit and, you know, find out what this trade mission is about. And she said, oh, okay. And we said, well, we'd meet a half an hour later. And she said, maybe I'll bring one other person. An hour and a half later, I finished a conference with 6 of the top people in Equity Bank, Priya and Rafa and so forth, and we talked energy in a depth that I was quite impressed. I think they learned a bit from me, and I know I learned a bunch from them. So I have a lot of respect for that, and not a planned comment, but it happened, and it happens with good folks.
Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will tell you something. If you want to make a woman get mad, you forget her name. You guys are going to have trouble. But I'm not going to do that today. So I'm going to talk to Veronique. Veronique and I. Veronique, why don't you come over? Come over. Veronique is originally from the great country of Kenya. She has really been our pathway to really connecting the East African community to African diaspora in all the business. Veronique is that kind of person where you see her, don't let her go. When you bring a big business person, this kind of people that talk billions, she's not afraid of billions. When the person starts to see life complicated, Veronique will say, calm down. Tom, I'm going to help you meet whosoever that you want. Then Tom will calm down. He sees 3M. 3M is Fortune 500 company. When they have their product and they are scared of Africa, they're going to buy my goods. She's like, no, don't calm down. I know my culture. I know my people far more than you do. I am there to represent you. When she wants to talk to Eco Lab, they're big companies, looking all at big people, looking all at the big boys. She's like, calm down. I know that I may be a small person, but I'm from a big continent. I'm from a big country. We do big things. Don't be afraid of your product. I'm really going to come here to really talk about a product that we sell. She's actually into the area of healthcare, anything healthcare, services. That is where her passion is. And I know that you may want to take the microphone a little bit and talk about your healthcare. Are you afraid of a microphone? Please don't be afraid of a microphone. Go ahead, Veronique.
Kenyans are not scared of microphone. You don't even want to give it to them because they'll be here for hours. Anyway, my name is Veronica, as you said, and my passion is health, specifically women health, bringing it closer to the women. As we know, most of women are dying with breast cancer and cervical cancer, something that we could know early and stop. So we are planning to partner with 3M and Synergy to create mobile clinics that bring the clinics closer to the women so that they cannot travel. Like, I come from a small village in Kericho, and when you tell the women that they should go for breast cancer check in Kericho, they think about it's a whole day process. So instead of that, bringing the clinic to them so that they're able to have access. So creating access to the women to women health.
Thank you so much. All the women with that health care, it's just like agriculture, energy, you cannot survive. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much for your courage and optimism. We'll go to Sam. Samuel, come over, Sam. Come over, good to see you. Sam is a fantastic man. Look, Sam, let me tell you some nice words that I've stayed for so long without actually telling people. If you want an engine to jumpstart anything, Sam is that kind of person. I don't know whether Sam sleeps or he doesn't sleep, and that's why you see Sam over here. I tell Sam that, Sam, let's leave on Saturday. No, my plane may delay me, and I won't be able to close my deals when I come over to this house. Please, Basil, I'm going on Friday. I want to spend Saturday in my room, closer and making my way out to find out where the rooms are, people are, and all the opportunities are. And Sam is an expert in tourism. When we talk about tourism, you're talking about hotels, you're talking about restaurants, you're talking about transportations, you're talking about all the kind of things that bring smiles to your joy, cultural centers, museums, arts. Sam is really looking at investing into that area and really helping to get people know about tourism and then to drive more investors that are coming from the United States, from all over the United States, not only Minnesota. He has a very, very good market. And he thinks that with the visit of your president to the United States of America, to actually represent your country and talk fairly well. We didn't stay at the line yesterday at the airport. That's always the most difficult thing. Just to tell you guys that Sam is that kind of person that's really creating that pathway for this opportunity. Sam, will you want to take a microphone a little bit and tell them?
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. And Tanzania is my home. So my parents are from here, and it's good to be back home. We're in tourism. We are doing something we call it Beyond Safari, because the reason why we call it Beyond Safari is not only about going for safari when somebody hears about tourism, it's all about, I'm just going to go for safari, I'm just going to go to Serengeti or somewhere. But for our mission is creating more unique experience and blending in the culture from different parts of the world. So we are doing a lot of tourism with a different institution, and right now we're working with independent schools in Minnesota. which are private schools, you can call here in Tanzania. And basically, we do take kids, middle school age and high school, to come and learn the beautiful culture and what Africa is going to offer. We've been in several countries, in South Africa and Rwanda, but it's about time to come to Tanzania. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much. I wanted to keep the best for the last. Why don't I start with Dr. Richard Oni? Dr. Richard Oni, why don't you come ahead, man? Come ahead, come ahead, come ahead. Come ahead. Come, I know you don't want to come here, but I want you to come here. Come here, man. I want the whole world to see you. I wanted Dr. Richard to come because I wanted Dr. Etel to stay a little bit and he shine at some other part. Yes, you want to, okay, come, Dr. Etel. Your partner wants you to really be here. Thank you so much, Dr. Richard.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This is amazing, you know, when you want to hear about the economic engine of Africa, the fastest growing economy, we're actually thinking about two countries, Nigeria and South Africa. We say if we come on this trip without bringing Nigerians, then we have not actually come back to our continent. Minnesota actually exists because of Africa. And we get support from Prosper Africa, that is actually focused on the development of Africa by improving two-way trade. And all the times I hear from them, I want you to do something in Nigeria. I don't want to go to Nigeria. I want to come to Tanzania. No, I want you to go to Nigeria. And I'm like, okay, why don't I take two Nigerians with me and take them to Tanzania? Let it be like I've gone to Nigeria. So these are phenomenal people, really, really phenomenal, really into the healthcare, really, really helping to really help you put money back into your pocket. Where if you have something in terms of a grant writing, they're actually in the healthcare field. They do economic development work in healthcare, in education, working with nonprofit, small businesses. If you really have a challenge, if you hear about the United States of America right now, if you hear about foundations, if you hear about money, more of them are really talking about people of color, people that look at you and I, they really want to close that opportunity gap. But because that money is really, really a big challenge to get to your pocket because you don't understand the details, these two people understand the dynamics of almost everything that comes to the United States of America. They were supposed to be led by their boss, Dr. Tulope Ola. In the last minute, she couldn't come for some things that really were beyond our control. They have relationship with the Zanzibar government. They would come here to build relationships with all the companies, and paramountly with the Minnesota delegation and also with you guys all, we will likely be meeting with some foundations over here to see that coming here, shaking hands, talking, it should not just end up in this microphone. It should end up into deals. We need to make deals, and if there's no money, you cannot make deals. So these are the people that really look at this into making you put the money back into your pocket. I know you're a therapist. If I'm stressed out, I call you to give me some little bit of nice talks. You're very good at that. Why don't you tell them some nice things?
Well, good morning here. Good morning. I know I'm from Minnesota, but I am also part of African descendants in Minnesota. So what we do is pretty much what everybody needs. We work with people in wellness, which include your financial wellness. Everything that you do is about wellness. And we have wellness in different areas. And that is what we do. We help people to get grants. We also help people to develop what we call apprenticeship in different areas of healthcare. Now we want to work with the government in the area of healthcare and as well as the Department of Education. We work with kids in school that need some emotional support as well as their parents. So when you're looking for grants, don't forget REFA, restoration for all. We need to be restored from all the past COVID impacts. And we need to do that quickly because we don't know another flow of infectious or whatever pandemic that may be coming. So we need to be prepared. And we are here for the days. And my partner is also here with us. Our area is very important too.
Thank you very much, everyone, for having us. It's a privilege. We're not making light of it. We prefer to say your time is money, so we don't want to waste your time. In addition to everything we do, we understand that the government of this country is interested in fighting gender-based violence And we as REFA have initiatives to support the government too, because when the society is not, when the society is sick, you can trace it back to what is happening in the families. And as REFA, we talk about ways of not just trying to stop that violence, but trying to re-empower the victims and reorientate the perpetrators. Because there are all kinds of interventions going on to see what could be done about GBV. But REFA is on hand to talk with anyone that is interested on how we can engage with communities as well as groups to address this pandemic that is gradually trying to erode the family life. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to see you. Thank you. I don't, is there any other one I'm missing? I had about 19 people on my list. I know we will obviously be coming back bigly and in the next couple of months. You will all be sitting here. There is no way that I can sit down without really loudly thanking Prosper Africa, loudly thanking Equity Group, loudly thanking Global Minnesota, and Minnesota Africans United, particularly my board members that are diverse, that have come from a representation from all the 54 African countries that we do have over there in Minnesota, to really let them know that we did their constant support, keeping sleepless nights, as so many of them watching now on the Facebook or Twitter, wherever they are, to really make sure that African continent really becomes the real continent of the future, a continent that can actually stand up and become competitive with the United States of America, with all the great companies. Equity Group is actually working to do that. Joy is really standing up every day, morning, evening, and night, having late night phone calls with that to see how we can actually, African diasporas can actually be a pathway to make sure that the African diaspora company, US businesses actually come here to Tanzania, and also making sure that your goods and services should also live from the United States of America and also go over, not only to Minnesota, but across the country. Where are those pathways? Where are those doors? Where are the windows? Where are the opportunities? And we are here to actually make you to know that this work is not just an easy work, it's a work that starts with relationship. And this is my really first time of really having this roundtable conversations with you guys. Handshake can lead you to something, can lead to marriages, can lead to business deals, can lead to all kinds of things. So we are also here to tell you that if you have a business, if you have a deal, you have an idea, just ask a question. Who are my buyers? How do I penetrate the African market? If you are working with Europe, if you are working with China, if you are working with other African, taking advantage of African Continental Free Trade Area, please don't really also forget us. We are really coming here to tell you that we are the consumers of your products over there in the United States of America, and we are that doors of opportunity for each and every one of you. As you are talking to me, as we are talking to our business members, as we are talking, keeping your country at the center focus, please also talk while your brain is also thinking about United States of America, where we actually come from, where we represent the interests of the people that we stand for, who have given us everything, who has made us who we are. This is really our time to really fight back and really help to make sure that you create jobs and opportunity, and also show that Tanzania products are products that are consumable everywhere. Again, it's time for me to get out of the microphone again, and I hope you don't ask me to come back. I don't like talking much, but you make me talk a little bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Basil, and I think you deserve a biggest round of applause for the energy. We really appreciate that. I think you had a good enough coffee that sparked your energy as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we go for a tea break or coffee break, I would love to bring to your attention, for those who came late, that in case you want to post anything on social media, don't forget to hashtag our very handle that we have. And we have two hashtags, by the way. We have US Trade Mission TZKE, US Trade Mission TZ for Tanzania, and KE for Kenya. The second hashtag that we have is Equity Trade Missions. So please, whenever you tweet or you post a picture on Instagram or any other platform, don't forget to hashtag those, because we truly want to go global and to go viral as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to welcome the Executive Director of U.S. Tanzanian Chamber of Commerce, or U.S. Chamber of Commerce Tanzania, Mr. Nengai King, also to give some remarks. and thereafter we are going to have a tea break. Is Mr. Nengai here? Miss, very sorry. Miss Nengai King, if she is not here, then allow me to welcome Burak. He can speak or she can speak on behalf. Is Burak here? Oh, he is here. Makofi kwake tafadhali.
Good morning, everyone. It's going to be a short speech because I was not expecting to be here this morning. Our executive director from American Chamber of Commerce Tanzania, Nengai, she wasn't able to be here. So I'm just going to say a few words on her behalf. First of all, as American Chamber of Commerce in Tanzania, we really appreciate this delegation coming from US and the efforts of the Equity Bank. We believe that this will lead to more business opportunities and collaboration between both Tanzania, Kenya, and US companies. And we are really looking forward to that. We understand that following to this delegation, there will be a bigger one around January 2023. And we are also hoping to collaborate during that event. So as American Chamber of Commerce in Tanzania, we are here to promote American businesses in Tanzania, and Tanzanian businesses looking forward to export goods and services to US and to US companies. If any local Tanzanian companies here would like to become a member and see the opportunities between US and Tanzanian companies, you are most welcome. You can contact me or any other member sitting on this table, and we will be happy to have you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Asante sana, Mr. Burak, and your message was loud and clear. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a short break. The tea and coffee is available on my right-hand side. Please make sure that you network as well, know each other. We have equity staffs who are here. In case of anything, please, you can see them and you can have a more discussion with them. Actually, there are two places. One is on my right-hand side, the other one was on my left-hand side. So for those who are closer to this side, you can use this side. And I think to be more specific, from the middle here, all these tables can use the other side, and all these tables you can use on my right-hand side. Please, karibu sana. The tea will be for a few minutes, then because we are all here, I will announce when we are coming back. And once we come back, we're going to have preliminary sessions over here, more fruitful discussion. You'll be allowed to ask a question again to make your contribution and to give us more views so that we can utilize this event. Karibu sana for refreshments.
Ni mawio ya siku mpya hapa Mbeya, Tanzania, nchi yenye fursa adhimu ya kufanya ugavi wa chakula kwenye ukanda huu, hususan mchele, zao lenye ubora wa aina yake kulinganisha na kwingineko kokote. Mchele kama zao la chakula na biashara ni nafaka nambari 2 kwa wigo wa kibiashara nchini Tanzania baada ya mahindi. Zao hili hulimwa kwenye maeneo mengi nchini, lakini zaidi katika ukanda wa kusini magharibi ambapo wakulima huzalisha kwa kutumia umwagiliaji na kutegemea mvua. Eneo la kilimo cha mpunga Mbeya huzalisha sehemu kubwa ya zao hilo kwa nchi nzima. Mchele mwingi unaozalishwa hapa ni wenye ubora wa hali ya juu, ikiwemo aina ya Saro. Aina nyingine ya Mwenda Mbiu hulimwa pia. Ni mchele wenye harufu nzuri sana na unaozalishwa japo si kwa kiwango kikubwa.
Tuna mpango wa kutafuta masoko nje kwa sababu mashine ya kumenyea tunayo. Godown la kuhifadhia tunalo. Kwa hiyo issue hapo ni kutafuta, tuna mpango wa kutafuta masoko nje ili tuweze kuuza mchele badala ya mpunga. Tukipata soko Kenya, tukipata soko Uganda, tukipata soko Malawi, madam liwe soko tu lenye tija.
Naishukuru serikali kwa sababu kwanza imetujengea miundombinu. Tuna mifereji sisi hapa. Kwa maana hiyo tunaweza kulima wakati wote. Naweza kulima wakati wa kiangazi, naweza kulima pia wakati wa masika. Na hili bonde letu linakubali muda wote kufanya kilimo hiki cha mahindi.
Matarajio ya kuuza mchele kwa nchi wanachama wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki ambayo sasa inajumuisha Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo ni makubwa. Kenya pekee ni soko kubwa la mchele huo. Nchi hiyo huhitaji kiasi cha tani milioni 1 za ujazo kwa mwaka. Mahitaji hayo ni makubwa zaidi ya uzalishaji wa ukulima unaofikia tani za ujazo 180,000 pekee. Nakisi inayosalia huzibwa na uagizaji wa mchele kutoka mataifa mengine kama Thailand, Pakistan, India na Myanmar. Hata hivyo, mnamo mwaka 2020 kiasi cha tani za ujazo 37,000 zilisafirishwa kutoka nchi jirani ya Tanzania. Ripoti ya mapitio ya sekta ndogo ya mchele yaliyofanywa na benki ya Equity inabainisha kwamba ufadhili wa kifedha kwenye mnyororo mzima wa thamani wa mpunga si tu kwamba utaongeza uzalishaji, lakini pia utaongeza kipato cha wadau na hatimaye kubadilisha kabisa maisha na riziki zao. Mafunzo ya wakulima katika kijiji cha Mabadaga. Ubia wa Equity na wanachama wa skimu ya mpunga ya Patagwa unaonesha kwamba kuna hitaji kubwa la wakulima wa mpunga wenye ekari 1 hadi ekari 10 kuungwa mkono. Wakati uungwaji mkono wa kifedha ukiwa jambo la lazima, mafunzo ya ujasiriamali nayo ni muhimu kuhakikisha wakulima wanafanya kilimo kwa tija kama biashara.
Sasa wewe kujua kwamba kule kuna soko, unahitaji mtu wa pili kukupa jicho, si ndio? Sasa ndio maana hiki kitu tumekuja sasa kuhakikisha kwamba tunaunganisha wakulima wetu, wazalishaji na masoko ambayo yako nje ya Tanzania. Kwa maana kama kuna watu wako Kongo, wako Rwanda, wako Kenya, basi wapate kujua kwamba sasa hizi tuna mchele ambao tunategemea wapi? Isenyera.
Mimi na familia yangu tunalima eka 7 la mpunga. Equity inawahisha mkopo kuleta. Kwanza haina usumbufu wowote. Sisi wakina mama tukikopa hiyo mikopo itatufaidisha sana kwenye kilimo, hasa hata kwenye pembejeo. Sisi wakina mama tukipata pembejeo nasi tutakuwa juu zaidi.
Tangia mwaka jana 2021 nimeweza kuingia kuomba mkopo katika benki ya Equity. Kweli niweza kuomba milioni 5 na benki ilinipa kwa muda mwafaka. Nilikuwa ninalima ekari 3 lakini kwa 2001-2002 nimeweza kulima ekari 12 na nilivuna gunia 187.
Skimu ya Ipatagwa ni miongoni mwa skimu 5 za mpunga zenye zaidi ya ekari 1,500 kila moja, huku ya Mbuyuni ikiwa maradufu ya ekari hizo. Katika skimu zote hizi, mpunga unapandwa kwa umwagiliaji kutoka kwenye maji yatokayo mto Kimani, tawi mto la chini ya mkondo wa mto Rufiji. Katika maonesho ya 88 yaliyofanyika mkoani Mbeya, Rais wa Tanzania Samia Suluhu Hassan alisisitiza umuhimu wa uzalishaji wa mpunga katika tukio hilo ambalo wakulima walipokea pawatila 130.
Mheshimiwa Rais, tumetumia kama wakulima wa kikundi cha Ubaso kutoka wilaya Mbalali. Tumeanza kunufaika mwaka wa jana 2021-2022 tumepewa pawatila 35 kutoka Equity na trekta moja aina ya Mahindra. Zimetusaidia kutoka kwenye kipato cha gunia 15 mpaka kufika gunia 40 kwa heka moja.
Katika mwaka 2021 sekta hizi za kilimo zilichangia 26% kwenye pato la taifa, zikatoa ajira kwa wananchi wastani wa 65.6 na kuchangia 65% ya upatikanaji wa malighafi ya viwanda. Pia zilichangia kiwango cha utoshelevu wa chakula kinachozalishwa hapa nchini kwa zaidi ya 100% na kuzalisha ziada kwa ajili ya soko la nje. Hata takwimu kutoka Benki Kuu ya Tanzania zinaonyesha kwamba katika mwaka 2021 bidhaa ya mchele pekee imeingizia taifa jumla ya shilingi bilioni 476.8 ikilinganishwa na shilingi bilioni 176.5 kwa mwaka 2020.
Hata sasa changamoto kubwa inayoathiri mnyororo wa thamani wa mchele ni soko. Mkurugenzi wa kampuni ya usagishaji mpunga na huduma ya ghala ya Ruiye, Rafael Mbaise, ana magunia 55,000 ya mpunga kwenye store yake. Mkulima huyo alianza na ekari 1.5 ya ardhi akizalisha mpunga, lakini leo anazalisha mpunga kwenye ekari 200. Mbaise anaweza kusagisha tani 20 kwa siku na kusafisha ghala lake, lakini anajikongoja kwenye kusaga kwa sababu ya mbinyo wa soko. Mtazamo wa Mbaise umeingia kwenye maono na dhima ya Equity kufanya ubia na wadau kwenye mnyororo wa thamani wa mchele ili kutoa ufadhili wa miradi katika ujenzi wa maghala na lije kuwa suluhisho la malipo kwa wafanya biashara wa rejareja na jumla.
Our rice is sold in various regions, say Dar es Salaam, Zanzibar, Tunduma, and Mwanza. But all these points, they are related to outside the country. So those who are taking our rice to Tunduma, they are looking at the Congo market. And those who are going to Mwanza, actually, they are going to Kenya direct.
Benki iko tayari kutoa ufadhili kwa ajili ya michakato ya kilimo na kwa usafirishaji na uagizaji na uuzaji wa nje kwenye maeneo mbalimbali ya Afrika Mashariki.
Tanzania sisi ni nchi ya 4 kwa uzalishaji wa mchele Afrika na ni nchi ya 2 kwa uzalishaji wa mchele Afrika Mashariki na kusini mwa Afrika. Na bahati kubwa tulionayo kama nchi, nchi zote jirani zinafika Tanzania kuweza kununua mchele. Wanunuzi wanakuja kutoka Kenya, wanakuja kutoka Uganda, wanakuja kutoka Rwanda, Congo DRC na South Sudan. Sisi kama benki ya Equity, kwa sababu tuko regional na nchi zote ambazo wakulima wanapata wanunuzi, tunafanya utaratibu wa kuhakikisha tunawaunganisha na wao waweze kupata hayo masoko ya hizo nchi ambazo wao wanasema kuna fursa ya kuweza kuuza mazao yao.
Si mpunga pekee unaolimwa katika mkoa huu. Mahindi ni nafaka inayofanya vizuri zaidi kibiashara ndani ya nchi. Pia hulimwa sambamba na mazao mengine kama ngano, maharage, soya na mbaazi. Sio mbali sana kutoka mashamba ya mpunga Ipatagwa. Mashamba ya mahindi yapatikana karibu na Ilaji, eneo la Uswahilini. Hapa mahindi yanalimwa kwa umwagiliaji na kwa kutegemea mvua za msimu.
Nimejipanga Equity ikinipatia mtaji niweze kulima zaidi hata ya eka 5. Natarajia kuuza soko la Inyala. Natarajia kuwauzia watu wa aina mbalimbali, kwa mfano Kenya, Malawi wanakuja kuchukua zao letu la mahindi.
Kweli kuna changamoto kubwa ambazo huwa zinatukabili sisi kama wakulima wa kilimo cha mahindi. Changamoto ya kwanza ambayo ndio kubwa ni ukosefu wa mtaji. Kwa sababu tunashindwa kuzalisha mazao mengi kwa sababu hatuna mtaji ambao utatuwezesha kuweza kununua pembejeo za kilimo kwa wakati, hususan katika upande wa madawa na upande wa mbolea. Halikadhalika hata mbegu bora ambazo tunaamini kabisa Equity Benki wao wakiweza kutuwezesha, tunaamini tunaweza tukatatua hizo changamoto kwa wakati.
Kunalo soko la watu milioni 200 katika ukanda wote wakati mwa Afrika. Ni dhahiri biashara ya kilimo itashamiri ikiungwa mkono na mpango wa benki ya Equity wa uhimilivu na afueni wa Afrika.
The strategy we have adopted is the African Recovery and Resilience Plan. We have leveraged on the East African Community Common Market and leveraged on the African Continental Free Trade Area. It's a regional plan, it's a continental plan, because we have realized the only thing that can support us to succeed is the market. The larger the market, the better.
Wadau wa sekta ya kilimo nchini Tanzania na kwa nchi wanachama wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki wanatiwa moyo kwa pamoja kuzichangamkia dola bilioni 6 za Kimarekani zilizopangwa kuulisha ukanda huu kupitia kilimo.